So real change feels like dying, and here's why. Have you ever wanted to change something, whether it's your situation about money, about relationships, uh, wanting to go to the gym more, fixing your health, whatever it is, and sometimes in a relationship, let's say you're not in a relationship, you want to approach that guy or girl, and it's like it feels like you're gonna die. Where does that feeling really come from? And more importantly, I think understanding that everyone feels that way and it's not just you also helps, because in my life I went through a bunch of experiences where I thought, oh, it's just me. I building a business, there's times where it's like it feels like almost every week or every 2 weeks it's like you feel depressed, and sometimes it feels like it's just you. But then when I talk to more people, it's like, oh, this is a thing everyone goes through. This is why it helps to be part of communities, talking to people, and then you see, okay, everyone goes through that. But the part about if you want to change, think of it as like, you ever do something new, and then, or something happens, and then you'll react to it, whether physically, emotionally. Look at the word react, right? The re, the re in there means again. So it's, you're acting again. But what is it that you're acting again? And if you really think about it, most of our decisions, most of the way we think comes from how we were raised when we were children. Whether it was by our parents, whether it was you watched too much TV, and whatever the character was going through, you resonated with that, so you took on that character. Sometimes people experience things and they're like, oh, my mom and dad were never like this, I don't know why it's happening. But then when I support them and they realize, oh, they watched so-and-so movie and they felt like they were that character, and that they were experiencing what that character was experiencing, that's part of why movies are there. It's to program you in a certain way. You turn on a TV, it says TV programming. I mean, they say it right there. But the part about feeling like dying, think of it as like your mind, because of how much pain we went through when we were younger, between ages of 1 to 7, 2 to 7, even 0 to 7. Many people who are just born right away, there's like chaos around them, all the family members, annoying ones, all sorts of people they're around them, and you're being impulsed from early on. But some of the experiences growing up was very painful, and so your mind, it doesn't want to deal with pain. And going through society, it's all about feeling good, feeling positive, and it's like not wanting to deal with that negative. And so it's like your mind automates that point of suppress whatever feels bad, automate everything that feels good. But you have to understand, most of the things in this world that is worthwhile, such as building a business, raising a family, getting into a relationship, building a relationship that'll last lifetime, not last as long as it feels good and then get a divorce or separate whenever it doesn't feel good, raising a child, working out, getting into the best shape, all of this stuff does not feel good initially for a long time. But then when you do it enough for a while, after a few years, then it will start feeling good, because then you become good at it. But the longer that you resist the pain, then you're resisting the part of becoming good at it, and then it will stay painful longer. And the sooner you understand that your mind doesn't want to do anything new, because it's used to you doing the same thing, and it doesn't want to take risk because it's afraid that you're gonna die, the moment you realize any change, you're gonna feel that. And it's like, one of my mentors gave me this cool analogy example of, like, those big waterfalls. It's like super tall, and from looking back, it's like loud, the water is just like splashing, and you feel like, if I go underneath that, I'm gonna die. With the way the water's coming down and the pressure it looks like, I'm gonna die if I go under there. But if you actually walk under it, it actually feels like a massage, like an intense massage, but it's like you don't die. It just hits your shoulder and you can just walk through it. But it seems very scary from outside, and sometimes you need someone to push you into the waterfall so that you see it's not that big a deal. That's where mentors come in, the right community of people, whatnot. That's why it's like doing it alone, it's very tough, because you need someone else who's done it to show you like, this is how you'll feel, it's normal, you're not gonna die. And that's why I'm making these videos, because I wish someone else, when I first started my journey 4 or 5 years ago, would say all this stuff, like, who could be real about it. Many people on the internet act like everything's good, but dude, behind the scene shit doesn't feel good. Like, it's actually boring, right? Building a business, the part to do it, generating leads, showing what your product service, and then asking for the close sale, that's the entire process. And if you have to do it over and over, it gets boring. Look at any job. Like, if you have a job, I don't know if you realize it, they're asking you to do the same thing over and over. Imagine you get a position, let's say you work at a restaurant and your position is to cook, but then you're like, I don't feel like going in the kitchen, and then you start walking on the floor acting as a waiter or waitress, then they're gonna fire you, because they're like, this is not what we hired you. So they expect you to do the same thing over and over and over. Business is the same. People hate building business because they're like, it's boring. Well, it's the boring thing that gives you result. And guess what? We went to a school where for 8 hours they made us do the same thing over and over and over, and most of us don't like how school is designed, because it's designed very specifically to make you not want to build your own business, and you wonder why you don't want to do anything. And that part about feeling like dying is because in the past, when you tried doing things and you had your parents or family members and they're like, oh my God, never do this, I did this once and XYZ happened, and we went into financial pressure, this and that, and then you're like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't do it because I don't want to go into financial pressure. And then you don't realize, well, they're not you, they're not in your situation. And also, when they tried XYZ, did they get the right support? Were they part of a community? Did they have mentors? Or did they just decide to do it, wing it? And it's like, no fucking wonder why it doesn't work, because you can't just wing it. You have to have the right support group around you. And if you don't know where to start, that's why I'm making these videos. Reach out. My comment, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Like, it's all free. Just reach out. And I may send you a voice message or something. I don't know. Maybe we could hop on a call to see where you can even start doing something. The reason I'm making this channel is because I always told myself I'm not gonna share anything with other people until I had the results, until I knew what I was talking about, and it wasn't me just hearing it from someone and just repeating it. And the reason I start posting more now is because I've done it. I've made some money. I've gone into the best relationship, having better health. And when I say some money, it's like by 21, I think I made over 6 figures. And I'm someone who came from a third world country, so I was programmed to be broke the rest of my life. And it's just growing. I'm just starting, right? So some people are like, oh, you're not a multimillionaire yet, or you're not a billionaire yet, why should I listen? I'm like, okay, have you ever made 10K in a day before? If not, I've done it before, so maybe you could listen and get that. Now, how to get 10K every single day, that's what I'm working on to get to that point. And then 10K every single hour, but it takes time. It's not overnight. It's doing the boring work over and over. And sometimes it feels like dying. But the sooner you realize that feeling is just a point to keep you from not changing, because our mind wants to keep us at the level of our family members and just the environment that you were raised at. The sooner you realize that, you'll realize, oh, change is gonna be painful. It's not gonna feel good. It's not like what the gurus tell you or the spiritual people of like it's gonna feel good. That's not the truth. So then the sooner you realize, the sooner you'll change. That's what I had to come in terms with. So yeah, go push it and pick one painful thing. Some people, like I used to do this too, where it's like someone tells you about a great opportunity and then you want to change 10 things at the same time. It's like, no, just pick one. Start with one. Start with the simplest one. Like when I wanted to work out, I first started just by, I don't know, doing 1 push-up a day. And then it went to 2 push-ups a day. And then just going from there, you know? I didn't start working out. I've been working out for a few months consistently. It didn't happen overnight, you know? So, hope this message resonates with you. And I say hope because sometimes things go over people's head. But I'm not making this video to impact everyone's life. As long as one person sees this, takes action, and gets results, that's what matters, because it's 1 + 1. And then that's what my mentor told me, 1 + 1 to the power of 10. If you help one person, then you go help one other person, then you help one other person, you do that with 10 people, and then you show them how to support 10 more people. Now you're gonna grow faster than you ever thought, right? And so, yeah, if you're that one person, feel free to reach out too. The person who reaches out, that means you're actually serious about changing. And again, not everyone will reach out, and not everyone's serious about changing, but that's okay. You know, in this world, if everyone were to be super wealthy, or if everyone were a certain way, we're not in that system yet, but that's what we want to create, so everyone could have that life. But it takes time, it takes effort. So if you're that one person that's going to be part of creating the new system, reach out. Let's become friends. But yeah, hope you got something out of it. Ask yourself, what is it, something that I can apply today? Because if you just watch this and not gonna apply anything, then you just wasted 11 minutes of your time. Do something, act one thing so that you make it worthwhile. I promise you, if you start taking these informations in and start acting on it, you will change, you will grow, your situation will change. So yeah, I'll stop it there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.